Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Moltrap here, coming at you with another Starcraft 2 commentary, and this is going to be basically just a random game, not part of any tournament or anything, as far as I know, between NEXSickness and NEXkaBooM, two Korean players, part of the Nex clan, and Nex clan is actually combined not that recently anymore with the Zenith clan, so they're now called ZenX. So you might recognize ZenX Kirix, for instance, is kind of the best performing player that I can think of from that clan right now. But anyway, Sickness and KaBooM. This replay was on Gosu Gamers as a recommended replay, and it just came out. Usually the recommended replays on Gosu Gamers are totally awesome and epic, and this was brand new on their list, so I said, okay, well, you know what, I'll try it out and see what it's like, and maybe I'll actually be the first person to do a game on a replay site for once. Anyway, just wanted to do something else random, and Gosu Gamers usually is a good place to get some sweet replays, so should be a fun game. Now, you may notice some strange things going on here. This is actually on the new Blizzard map, Shattered Temple. Shattered Temple is very much like Lost Temple, as you can kind of probably see, but with some major variations, which I'm going to try and show you really quickly before the game gets underway, in case you're not familiar with this new map. It's just been added to the map pool on Battle.net. So, brand new map. If you haven't seen this before, I'm not surprised. It is brand new. So anyways, as you can see, instead of this cliff over here, there's actually a choke point. There's this area over here that goes to destructible rocks. So this island expansion up here is no longer an island. Now there's a route. You can go through two destructible rocks and go around to the side of your opponent through that. There's a big Xel'Naga watchtower in the middle, instead of the ones kind of in the corners. And it's just this one Xel'Naga tower. And you can kind of see on the minimap, hopefully, the extent of it. It just covers to these, just outside of these big ramps, and leading to this big area, open area in the middle. So very, very strange map, very different map. Parts of it are still the same. You still have these plants, I guess, blocking the view on these choke points on the side. You still have this high yield mineral patch in between the two bases, with destructible rocks there in between. So very, very similar stuff in general, but definitely very different as well. I'm curious to see how this map plays out. It's definitely going to play a lot differently than Lost Temple. In any case, so Sickness is going to go ahead and go for a Forge expansion. He gets his Forge down. He scouted a little bit later, and so he's actually going to put down a Nexus first and then a Cannon immediately. He cannot afford to go for the Gateway. Speed is upgrading on the Zerglings. Lots of Zerglings being pumped out right now, in addition to this hatchery. And let's actually check out the income tab. Yeah, okay, switching over to drones again. But 6 Zerglings being put out there, and this Overlord is going to come over here. I think he has not, he hasn't quite seen it yet, but so he doesn't quite know that Nexus is there, but he's pretty soon going to find it out, and that's why we see these Zerglings kind of going all over the map, trying to find out where Sickness is located, and this Overlord is in a good spot to check these minerals to see when they start getting mined, if at all. Let's see, I think this Zergling is in for a rude awakening here. Is he going to be able to, oh, and actually there's a gap. He could have run by. Actually, no, never mind. He probably couldn't have run by. I think he would have died before getting into the base. But at least he knows where Sickness is at now. So he's switched back up to drones entirely. Actually getting, getting his expansion up. He's got another queen on the way, so he's going to start walking. Well, actually, he's going to walk one of them down there to the other expansion. That's kind of weird, that queen getting pushed out of the way. And I like this move. Immediately putting down a creep tumor before heading down to this expansion, so he can connect his bases with creep. In any case, so Sickness going for a core here. He's going to really, really wall off. He's still got this gap here, and I don't think that's a one Zealot gap, actually. I think that one Zealot cannot plug that gap by itself. I'm not certain, but I think Zerglings could probably sneak by there. We might see. We'll have to see. But anyway, Overlord over here just kind of keeping things lorded over these destructible rocks. Overlord in charge. Overlord's in charge here. Anyway, sorry about that. I got distracted. A couple of cannons going down and another cannon going up on top here. Now, I was just casting this series between Moonglade and Squirtle, and this looks very similar to the build that Squirtle did in one of the two of the games, where he was just teched up really quickly off that Forge expansion. A little bit more, well, actually less dangerous on this map, actually, come to think of it, because there's more destructible rocks in the way if they want to go around the side. So he is going to come in here and run his Overlord around the back. He's going to obviously see that this base is mining. He probably is planning on cutting in here and see if he can spot any tech buildings. And there's the tech building right there. Robotics facility is going down. Another another assimilator rather going down for Sickness. So we are going to see some kind of a quick robo build. He's got some sentries out, and actually, I wonder if Zerglings can sneak in there also. It's so hard to tell sometimes on this game if things can sneak through those little gaps, but I'm sure he's got it planned out. He's got a sentry there, so the sentries at the very least are blocking, and if he tries to run through, he can cast a force field down. This one can cast a force field here. So if he does get a major attack on him, then he can do that. Destructible rocks slowly being taken down by these just 5 Zerglings. Drone is waiting for his opportunity to become an integral part of the economy of the Zerg. Not a ton of drones here, but almost full saturation. He's got an extra extractor up, not being used just yet, and starting to produce roaches. And Burrow is being upgraded as well, actually. Burrow as well as the speed upgrade for the roaches. So he is going to just, at the very least to start off with, start getting some roaches here. Evolution chamber going on. He's got a kind of a little wall here that's kind of interesting. Kind of what you might expect against Hellions, except of course there's not going to be Hellions. What is he doing with this robotics facility? He's produced a single observer, and now he's switching over to a Stargate. So you can tell these players don't have their builds quite as refined as a lot of the top pros. These guys are very good, very top level players, but again, probably not the kind of probably not going to see either of these guys in the GSL Code S anytime soon or anything like that. Just kind of, I mean, I don't know, who knows. I'm not the best judge of these things, but their builds seemed a little bit less refined, so we'll have to see what happens though. Front door is again pretty safe. He's got a couple of sentries there. Zerg has taken over this watchtower, so you can kind of see what's going on. I'm curious to see what he's going to produce with that Stargate. I don't see where the Stargate went, actually. Oop, Observer is being chased out by the Overseer. Starting to produce an Immortal. And does he even have, where does he have? He has a couple Stalkers that are up here on the high ground. So he doesn't really have too much of an army. So he's just basically been building up econ. If we check on the income tab, actually, he's got 49 harvesters compared to 46 for the Zerg. Although the Zerg can, of course, produce... Oh, there they go. The Zerg just produced like another half dozen. So getting that Immortal out is a good move. And he's got the robotics support bait almost completed as well. He's going to switch over to Colossus production after that. Doing it a little bit, well, never mind. I was going to say a little bit blindly, but I forgot that he ran his observer through there and saw exactly what was going on. Immortal, a good choice with the Roach War in there. I'm a little bit surprised that he's going straight for Colossus, actually. Well, he's actually not producing a Colossus. He's first producing a Void Ray and getting the Thermal Lance upgrade. He's got 2 robotics facilities. He's not using either of them. Very interesting. Void Ray chasing down this Overseer. It looks like the Overseer is not quite going to be able to get away in time. He at least drops out a Changeling, which does not get anywhere either. So, pretty ineffective scout there, but he did at least see that there's Void Ray. He saw that there's an Immortal on the ground. So yeah, a little bit puzzling play here by Sickness. He's got 2 robotics facilities, and he's just gonna, he's getting the Thermal Lance upgrade, but he's not using both the robotics facilities. He's actually tearing down the rocks here. Gonna probably expand up to this top location, a little bit more defensible since he has this wall here. Otherwise, he'd have to move outside of his wall to take this high yield, and that would not be good. The Zerg, in the meantime, has taken the high yield, gotten it almost fully saturated with drones. He's probably going to send some drones to the gas as well, and taking this base as well. So Zerg's economy is getting really huge. So it's pretty important for NEXSickness right now to be taking this 3rd base, because otherwise he's just going to get left in the dust. And right now he's actually eating a little bit of dust. 2,000 minerals per minute to 1,500. Even harvesters, but more bases, including a high yield base. So he has in fact transferred some drones over those high yield gases there. In any case, lots of roaches on the ground, starting to produce some hydralisks. Oh, Observer just gets really unlucky, flies right next to that Overseer, right at the wrong moment. Right at the wrong moment. Yes, that's right. Wow, so just building up, and up to 76 drones. Wow. NEXkaBooM is just droning up like crazy. Like absolutely crazy. Now, Sickness is basically saying, alright, well, Void Ray Colossus is like the best thing in the entire game. So why don't I just get Void Ray Colossus and not worry about anything else? And that's pretty much what he's doing. Blocking off this area over here with some gateways, some cannons, kind of a nice little blockade there. I like this, sending overlords in a lot of different directions to get a lot of vision map control. But yeah, Sickness just not really producing a lot of ground units. He's got 5 Stalkers and 3 Sentries. He's got an Immortal, and he's got the Colossi as well, basically, of course. But that's pretty much it. And other than that, he's just getting mass Void Rays and Colossus, which, like I said, is not a bad combination at all. It's pretty much almost the best thing you can get against Zerg. There's not a whole lot. You need tons and tons and tons and tons of Corruptors. And he's actually getting 20 Mutalisks! 20 Mutalisks being produced right now, though. Whoa, that could be huge, actually, because he doesn't have a lot of Stalkers. All he has is the Void Rays. He doesn't even have Phoenixes to deal with this. So 20 Mutalisks is actually going to be huge, taking the whole map as well. He's basically like, all right, let's see if you can deal with these 20 Mutalisks. If you can't, I'm going to have the map. And he's producing a ton of Spine Crawlers. He's got some Spore Crawlers as well. Here's the Mutalisk ball moving out all 20 full health Mutalisks. They're going to have +1 weapons before too long, moving across the map. And I don't think that Sickness is going to have anything to deal with this. He's got, his probes are just going to get absolutely slaughtered. Here comes the Mutas moving in. And he's actually attacking the rocks over on the other side at the same time while the Mutas slaughter the probes. It looks like he tried to move out to deal with this, and at the same time now the Mutalisks come in. He's got to pick off the Void Ray very quickly. He needs to basically stay out of range though and just do with the damage and use the mobility of those Mutalisks to his advantage. The Void Ray's catching up to those Mutalisks and picking off a couple of them, Stalkers as well, but looks like he was able to warp in some units over here to deal with this Roach force, just kind of a side force, just to distract while the Mutas did their damage, and he's basically not able to pay very much attention at all to this a little attack over here, because the Mutalisks attacking in his main, the Mutalisks are just going to fly right on by, and retains 19 Mutalisks. Wow, only one died in that whole exchange, and there's more Mutalisks on the way as well. NEXkaBooM taking bases all over the place. I don't know if he has the drones to support. He's got, well, actually, never mind. He's got 80 drones, so he can just start putting drones. Should probably just transfer his main drones. Here's the counterattack, though. Whoa, 23 harvesters for Sickness. Sickness needs to do some major damage with this counterattack, or he is completely hosed in the long run. But this is a sick army, no pun intended, that Sickness is marching across the map. 4 Void Rays, 5 Colossus will melt anything on the ground very quickly. Zealots and Stalkers to buffer. He's got the Void Rays and the Stalkers to deal with the air units. Muta's coming in the back. They're trying to pick off the Colossi so they can bring in some ground units to deal with this. Picks off 1, picks off 2. He's actually only, must have picked off the 3rd because there's only 2 Colossi left. Void Ray still attacked. He's moving in. The Stalkers targeting down those Mutalisks, though. Tons of damage being done. 2 Colossi are left. All the Mutalisks get completely slaughtered. At least, well, I was going to say the Colossi aren't in insta-give mode anymore, but with the Void Rays alongside, they are still going to insta-give anything he throws at him. And barely any units being produced by NEXkaBooM, I forgot his name from over there, sorry, by NEXkaBooM at this point. He's got a lot of bases all over the map, but that doesn't do much good if you don't have any units. 8 roaches being produced. If you can somehow pick off those Colossi, I mean, I have no idea how he can possibly stop this. He's got a Nidus network in play. I don't think he's just going to counterattack, basically. And look at this. And look at Sickness lost so many probes, he hasn't actually been able to produce much to reinforce. So this counterattack is just doing huge damage. He's actually going to kill off the 3rd base. He's going to probably kill off the main base as well. He's got nothing in there. He's got no probes. I don't know why he's not producing some Zealots or something. He has a little bit of money. Maybe he was warping in units too close to the front. I saw some Stalkers coming to reinforce, so maybe that's what was going on. It looks like we might see a base trade situation here. Definitely going to lose this base, and he's just rallying those roaches he produced to Sickness's base. He knows there's no way he can defeat this ball of units, so he's just going to try and trade instead. Wow, absolutely ridiculous. He's going to come in here and just wipe the floor with his entire base. Lair goes down almost instantaneously with this massive force of Stalkers, the Colossi, the Void Rays doing major damage as well on top of things. 4 Void Rays, huge amount of Void Rays, and I have no idea why he's not just warping a couple Zealots or something here to deal with his main, at least to buy some more time. I think maybe he figures that I have no idea what's going on here. To be honest with you, he's got the supply. The main Nexus goes down. He's got Warp Gates aplenty. Perhaps he was trying to save up enough money to build pylons in other places. Yeah, so he builds an assimilator. That's what he's doing. Of course, better to build assimilators and pylons around the map in a base trade situation than to try to rebuild everything, or than to try and save your base with just one zealot. So he's building an assimilator over here. He still has one Nexus, so he's not being revealed yet. So NEXkaBooM doesn't know about that yet. And NEXkaBooM is still mining. Look at this, burrows all of his units there, but it looks like there is an observer. Is there an observer in play? No, there's no observer in play, so everything is able to survive. He's got tons of money in the bank, actually, so he can actually keep producing hatcheries if he needs to. NEXkaBooM could just reproduce everything. Tons of roaches and zerglings here moving in are going to destroy the last few buildings, and he may actually just basically Sickness has to kill all of these bases and then fall back to this one assimilator before it can get attacked by NEXkaBooM. NEXkaBooM should probably be sending drones out to different locations to try and build more bases. He's going to send his drones from the expansion over to attack the assimilator. Brilliant move. This little side force over here dealing with that final hatchery there, and this is ridiculous. Now he's got one more hatchery over here. NEXkaBooM has one more hatchery, and Sickness just has this army. He has nothing. He doesn't even have a probe on the map, I don't think. Let's just double check. He's got one probe somewhere producing one more assimilator back in here. This is his last assimilator right there. It's all going to come down to if he can protect this assimilator and go out and kill everything the Zerg has at the same time. His army can kill this Zerg army easily. Well, actually, yeah, pretty easily, because he's got Void Rays. And he's gonna fall back to this choke point. Look at, yeah, there's no way that this Roach army can kill this army at all. But I don't know if he can move down that ramp either. And in the meantime, he's got single Void Ray though. Single Void Ray is gonna run around here and force a cancel on that expansion. He's got another expansion down here. He needs to start producing crap loads of queens right now to deal with little Void Ray attacks, because otherwise the Void Ray could just march over this army. This army can do nothing to Void Rays and just own this last base of his. If he doesn't do that with his Void Ray though, and he's just running around trying to find these extra bases, he doesn't actually know where that extra base is. So it looks like he's found this extractor. He doesn't know where that base is, so he's just running Void Rays around. And look at this. What is this spawning pool? He's getting the evolution chamber down. He needed that a long time ago. I don't know why he didn't build that earlier, since he knew that this was going to be a base search situation. So yeah, he can easily hold this ramp with just what he has. Well, actually with about half of what he has at the top of the ramp, he can hold against these roaches. So the Void Rays are free to just roam around and do what they want to. And no, he's attacking his extra hatchery. That's not what he needs to target. He needs to get this evolution chamber. Evolution chamber goes up. He needs to plant down a bunch of spore colonies right now. And he certainly does. Spore colonies going down everywhere. He just shift clicks spores everywhere. Is that Void Ray though he's gonna be able to kill off that queen pretty quickly if he can get down? Oh my god. He's producing currently 14 spore crawlers rather. Almost every drone building spores, and those Void Rays are not going to be able to get up and kill them all in time. Spore colonies now starting to pop up, and they're going to be able to force those Void Rays back. In the meantime, let's actually go back for just a moment so we can get this army moving down the ramp. And he spots the army moving down the ramp. He thinks this is his opportunity. He's going to move in with the roaches. He may try and actually just target that. And two Zerglings get in. Two Zerglings going straight for that. He force-built the ramp so the roaches can't just run by. Beautiful move there. And the Zerglings, oh no, Zerglings needed to go for that hatchery. Or at least get the probe just in case he had more minerals. Only spore colonies down here. So he knows if he can get his ground army down there, he can kill off that base. He's pretty sure it's the last mining base. His Void Rays are dead. Unfortunately, he let them die. And I like this. Just leaving the sentries behind so they can force build the ramp if the roaches try and come in there and get into the base. He's going to try and polish off this one base. There is still a Void Ray, actually. And, oh my gosh, these three said, he doesn't have movement. He doesn't have burrow movement. So it is still going to be, again, an elimination race. The Zerg has a bunch of drones he's running out right now. He's producing another hatchery in the top left, so he's not being revealed still. That Void Ray, where did the Void Ray go? He needs to get back, though, pretty soon. He's got, he's got plenty of force fields left. Barely puts down another force field before that one runs out. He's going to be able to polish off that base pretty easily. The Creep Tumor is going to keep those spore colonies alive. Spore crawlers, sorry. He needs to get back and do something about those roaches pretty quick, otherwise... yeah, so he doesn't want to run out of energy. You can perma force field with 4 sentries, but I think 3 you eventually barely run out of damage. Oh, he burrows. Ooh, he must know that the burrowed roaches are there though, because he's keeping up that force field just in case those sentries are the only thing stopping those roaches from running in. That was a brilliant move, though, burrowing some roaches in case he didn't see it. Oh, the roaches have their chance. They can get up there. They can try and target down the assimilator. I think he's just going to leave it there. That is 5 roaches there. In the meantime, some roaches were doing battle with the rest of the army here in the middle. The stalkers forced to fall back there. There's another roach down here as well. Oh, man, this is tense. This is tense. I think he might know those roaches are there because he's camping a bunch of his army there. He doesn't want to let them up, although he might not know. I don't know if he knows that. He knows the roaches have burrow at the very least. Burrowing to avoid that immortal. We missed a little bit of a battle there, but not too big of a deal. And it's just going to be a game of chicken here. Oh, the Void Ray found that hatchery. Oh, no. It doesn't even have any drones on the map. He does have drones on the map, but he only has 200 minerals in the bank. So here come those units. They're going to just camp on top there. And the roaches unburrow and try and run up. 3 force fields barely blocking things off. A single roach is in there. Cast one last force field. That is his last force field. This roach is probably going to be able to take out this sentry. He's bringing back his units to try and kill off those roaches. The roaches burrow. Oh, no. Whoa. And did he see it? I'm not sure what happened there. They look like he unburrowed for a moment to try and... Oh, and he's using the splash. Beautiful move. Oh, man. The Reaver splash move from Starcraft when he's using it, the thermal lens, to attack his own stalkers to kill off the roach that he's actually missing. He's just kind of spamming against all of his stalkers in order to try and get hits on the roach that he thinks is on the ramp. He is slowly damaging that roach. There's the roach right there at 100 health. And does he have more roaches around the map? He does have some more roaches. He still has... oh, he did build another hatchery. Maybe he canceled this one. No, it was up, actually. I don't know what exactly happened there. Somehow he got the minerals to build another hatchery. And he's just attacking all of his stalkers. He's only killing off the shields, it looks like, and letting the shields recharge, but he's not able to kill off that roach because it's got the rapid regeneration while it's underground. And, wow. He could probably just leave the immortal there. He should probably just leave just the immortal there to deal with that one roach. He doesn't have any more... Okay, the spore crawlers, I'm not sure what the purpose of those are. There's only ground units left. Okay, never mind. There's the Void Ray. So the Void Ray is going to be able to do some good. Uh-oh, is he going to be able to pop out? He's probably going to try and lure him in. Uh-oh, he's taking damage to those roaches, though. And if they die... Actually, I don't know if he saw... No, they didn't die. The roaches didn't die, so there's no possibility of a death animation there. Moving the spore crawlers back around that colony a little bit closer. Probably a pretty good move there. I think he's waiting for this army to try and move in, and then he's going to unburrow. I think he must know those roaches are burrowed there. I'm sorry, I missed it out. Actually, let's go back a little bit here to see what happened over here. It looks like these 2 roaches, it looks like he tried to move out with some stalkers. Looks like he made an attempt to run up the ramp. Here he goes. He's running up the ramp with 2 roaches. The immortal targeting him down very quickly. And he's probably going to just burrow right next to this assimilator if he's smart, just in case those units run away. So now he just has to keep these units here to kill this roach. And I wonder if he can actually, even with just those 2 units, see if he can unburrow and burrow. And I missed out some more roach battle going on over here. It looks like those roaches tried to unburrow and move around as well. This is just an epic stalemate here. The roaches do unburrow, but one of them dies. 2 of them die. The 2 damaged ones die immediately. He's got a queen on the map as well. Kind of random thing to have around. Laying creep tumors everywhere. You might as well, I guess, right? Void Ray in the meantime is found that, and he's actually running in and trying to target down these stalkers while they're distracted by the spore crawlers. They burrow just at the last moment. He actually needs to kill off those stalkers pretty quickly. I don't know if he can, though. He's got... Well, actually, he's burrowing them to keep them regenerated. He does need to regenerate those. He's down to just 3 spore crawlers, but there's only 6 stalkers left. He's brought a lot of his army back to deal with this one roach. Actually, he doesn't need that many to deal with that one roach. That 1 immortal and 1 stalker would probably be fine because the immortal does so much damage to the roaches. Picks off another stalker, down to 5 stalkers over in this location. Wow. Absolutely epic. This queen is just having a ball, just running all over everywhere, laying down creep tumors. Oh, he uprooted his, or rather unburrowed his roach, moved it a moment, took some hits, reburrowed it, and these roaches are just fighting for dear life. Down to 3 roaches left against 7 stalkers. He unburrows. He needs to, I don't know why maybe he's going to transfer his foods. Queen coming in It has to burrow as well. And he's just down to these 2 roaches. He's just going to go all in on this location. Try and kill off that assimilator. I don't think there's any way that Zerg can win this at this point, though. He's been fighting desperately. He's been pulling out all the stops. He's been playing absolutely brilliantly. But I don't think there's anything he can do anymore. He's got this Spore Crawler and this is Extractor. And I think that's pretty much it. I think everything else on the map is colonies. And it looks like, yeah, those roaches were not able to get up that ramp with the Colossus there. He may have thought the Colossus moved out somewhere else because this roach couldn't see them. It's going to be revealed. He's going to see all of these troop tumors all over the map. This Voider is already killing the Extractor. The last building is this Spore Crawler here. And that is going to be the epic finish to the epic base trade game. Not extremely exciting, admittedly. Oh, he's got one more Extractor over here. Not extremely exciting, admittedly, but definitely an epic finish. And look at these. He's actually attacking his own units to try and get that cloaked roach when all he needs to do is just kill off this Extractor, though. And he may just let himself get eliminated instead of GGing. But definitely, there's the GG coming from NEXkaBooM, the Zerg player. Very, very interesting game at the very least. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks very much for watching. GG.